All right, settle down. Let's have a little chat about furniture. Chairs, benches, the cold hard ground. But the king of all sitting apparatuses is the sofa. It's the throne of your living room, the vessel for your weekend naps, the silent witness to your cinematic adventures. You could go to some soulless big box store and buy a collection of particle board, assembled by a robot in a factory overseas. Or you could do something that will echo through the annals of your family history. You could build your own. I hear you scoffing. Offerman, you say, I can't build a sofa. I can barely build a sandwich. I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. Building a sofa isn't some mystical art reserved for bearded men who smell of cedar and righteousness. It's about putting one piece of wood next to another. It's about taking matters into your own two hands, creating something of substance, something with character. This isn't just about saving a few bucks, though that's a handsome bonus. This is about an experience. It's about the satisfaction of looking at a piece of furniture in your own home and saying, I made that with my hands, and it is good. Now, I said 10 minutes. Am I a liar? Perhaps a little? Before you can build, you must gather. A warrior is nothing without their sword, and a woodworker is nothing without their tools. You don't need $1 million workshop for this project. You just need a few trusty implements of creation. First and foremost, you'll need a way to cut wood. A simple handsaw will do the job and build character in your forearms. If you have a circular saw or a miter saw, even better. It will make your cuts quicker and cleaner. Next, you need a drill. A cordless drill is your best friend here. It will drive screws, and if you get a spade bit, it can even help you make some clean, round holes if you're feeling fancy. So, get yourself a tape measure. A good, sturdy one that doesn't flop around like a wet noodle. A pencil is also non-negotiable. Not a pen, a pencil. You will make mistakes, and you will want to erase them. Trust me on this. You'll also want a carpenter's square, or a speed square, to make sure your corners are true 90-degree angles. A sofa that isn't square is just a sad, lopsided bench. Finally, grab some clamps. A few good bar clamps or C-clamps will be like having an extra set of strong, uncomplaining hands. Now for the materials, the very soul of your sofa. We're keeping it simple and sturdy. For the frame, you'll want some good solid lumber. Standard 2x4s are the workhorse of the construction world for a reason. They're cheap, strong, and available everywhere. You'll need several of these. Let's say about 8 8-foot-long boards to be safe. While you're there, pick up a box of 3-inch wood screws. All right, you've gathered your supplies. Your garage or backyard probably looks like a miniature lumber yard. Good. That's the smell of progress. Now we need a plan, a blueprint. We're not building a spaceship, so this will be straightforward. We need to cut our 2x4s to the right lengths. Think of the sofa as a simple box. You have a front, a back, 2 sides. For a standard 3-seater, a good length is around 72 inches. 2 rails at 72 inches. Mark and cut the 2 72-inch rails. Lay the long rails out. Next, the side pieces. Aim for a comfortable depth, 30 inches. 2x4s are actually 1.5 inches thick, so cut the side pieces to 27 inches. Cut 4 27-inch pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Arrange them to form the bottom rectangle. Take your time with these cuts. Measure twice, cut once. It's a rule. Avoid extra trips to the lumber store. Now for the legs. Seat height is about 18 inches with cushion. Make legs about 10 inches tall. Cut 4 10-inch legs, but don't just stick them on the bottom. Make the legs part of the frame. That adds a lot of strength. Build 2 side assemblies first. Each side assembly is a small rectangle. Use 2 27-inch side pieces and 2 10-inch leg pieces. The moment of truth has arrived. It's time to join these pieces of wood into something that resembles furniture. Grab your drill. Grab your screws. Grab your wood glue. We'll start by building the 2 side assemblies. Take 2 of your 10-inch leg pieces. Take 2 of your 27-inch side pieces. Lay them on a flat surface to form a rectangle. The 27-inch pieces will be the top and bottom. The 10-inch pieces will be the front and back legs. Apply a bead of wood glue to the ends of the 27-inch pieces where they will meet the legs. Then clamp them together. Once clamped, use your drill to position and start the screw. Drive 2 3-inch screws through the leg into the end of each side piece. Make sure your pieces are square using your carpenter's square. A wobbly side assembly will lead to a wobbly sofa. Repeat this process for the other side. Now you should have two identical, sturdy, rectangular assemblies. These are your armrests and legs, all in one. They are the bookends of your creation. Pat yourself on the back, you're a builder. Now it's time to connect these two bookends. Stand them up, about 72 inches apart. This is where a friend or your trusty clamps come in handy. Take one of your 72-inch long rails. Position it between the two side assemblies at the front, flush with the bottom. This is your front base rail. Apply glue to the ends. Clamp it in place. Drive screws through the front leg of the side assembly into the end of the long rail. A frame, no matter how sturdy, is just a fancy bench without its cushions. The cushions are the soul of the sofa. This is where comfort is born. You have a few options here. The simplest path is to buy them. Outdoor furniture cushions. Thick foam pads from a fabric or upholstery store. Measure the inside of your frame, around 72 inches long by 27 inches deep. Find a bottom cushion that fits that space, or a few smaller ones that add up. Then find some back cushions to lean against. This is the 10-minute path, but if you want the full experience, you make your own. You'll need high-density foam. Buy large sheets from an upholstery supply store or online, 4 to 6 inches thick for seat cushions. You'll also need an electric carving knife. It cuts thick foam cleanly. Measure the sofa base, tape measure in hand. Let's say 72 by 27 inches. Cut the foam slightly larger. Add half an inch each side. So cut 72.5 by 27.5 inches. This gives a snug fit so it won't slide. Mark your cut lines with a marker on the foam. Follow the lines with the electric knife. Steady hand. It slices through foam like butter. Do the same for back cushions, 3 or 4 inches thick. For extra plush, wrap foam in polyester batting. Lay foam on the batting. Cut batting to wrap it like a present. Your sofa is naked. We need to dress it. The fabric you choose is the most important decision for the final look. It's the first thing people will see and touch. You need something durable. Look for upholstery-grade fabric. Canvas, duck cloth, denim, corduroy. For a more luxurious feel, heavy-duty velvet, or a synthetic blend built for high traffic. When you buy fabric, get more than you think you need. Measure your cushion pieces. For a box cushion, top piece, bottom piece, long strips for the sides, the boxing. Add at least an inch on all sides for seam allowance. Better to have too much than be a few inches short. Now for attaching the fabric. If you can sew proper zippered covers. This is the most professional method, removable for cleaning. Sew the boxing strips to the top piece. Sew the zipper into the boxing on the back side. Attach the bottom piece. It's like making a big fabric box. If you don't sew, do not despair. The staple gun is your friend. For a no-sew approach, wrap the fabric like a gift. Start with the main seat cushion. Lay the fabric face down. Place the batting-wrapped foam in the center. Pull the fabric up and over. Use your staple gun to attach the fabric to the plywood base. It won't be removable, but it will be fast and effective. Time-lapse. Sofa goes from bare to fully upholstered. Done in 10 minutes. We are building a place of rest, not a medical emergency. Let's talk about how to keep all your fingers and toes attached to your body where they belong. Your tools are not toys. Treat them with respect, bordering on fear. When you are using a saw, hand saw. When you are using a saw, power saw. Your full attention should be on the task at hand. No distractions. Television off. Phone in another room. Focus on that blade and that piece of wood. Always know where your hands are in relation to the blade. Wear safety glasses. They might feel silly, but they stop flying debris. Put on a dust mask if you're making a lot of sawdust. When you're using the drill to drive screws, make sure your wood is securely clamped. If the piece isn't secure, the force of the drill can cause it to spin and whack you in the knuckles, or worse. Also, be aware of what is behind the piece you are drilling. Don't drill through your beautiful 2x4 and into your dining room table. You've built a sofa. It is sturdy, it is functional, but right now, it's a bit plain. It's a blank canvas. This is where you get to inject your own personality into the project. This is where you transform it from a simple wooden box into a piece of art that you can also sit on. The easiest way to add some flair is with the finish on the wood frame. You can leave it raw for a rustic Scandinavian look, but that wood will get dirty over time. A better option is to apply a finish. You could stain it. Wood stain comes in a multitude of colors, from light oaks to deep dark walnuts. Or you could paint it. A coat of paint can completely transform the sofa. You could go with a classic black or white for a modern look, or you could be bold and choose a bright color like navy blue, emerald green, or even a cheerful yellow to make the sofa a true statement piece in your room. Congratulations! You did it! You stared into the void of an empty living room and filled it with a monument to your own skill and determination. But the work isn't over. Now you must become the custodian of this fine piece of furniture. A little bit of care will ensure your sofa serves you and your family for years, if not decades. The most important part of maintenance is cleaning. Life is messy. Spills will happen. Crumbs will find their way into the crevices. For the fabric, regular vacuuming is your best defense. Use the upholstery attachment on your vacuum, cushions and deck underneath. Do this at least once a week. This will pick up dust, pet hair, and those pesky crumbs. If you opted for removable cushion covers, you've made your life much easier. Unzip them and throw them in the wash. If your fabric is stapled on, you'll have to spot clean. For spills, act quickly. Blot the spill with a clean, dry cloth. Don't rub. Then use a mild soap and water solution to gently clean the area.